Okay. Join game. There we go. Sit tip number 35. Happy birthday. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay. Let's see.
Hello, people in chat. Hello, Dracon. Hello, Roshan Cookies.
Hi, folks. All right, Miller, I believe, has an assembler somewhere around here doing what we need. Hang on. Okay, that's adaptive control units. What else do we got over here? There's heavy mod frames. It should be something on the belt, but there isn't. Why not? Let me just see if it's jammed or something. Oh no, it's moving. It's just moving very slowly. Let me head on down there and just see what's going on real quick. All right, here's the manufacturer. Yeah, it's going. It's going at about 2.813 per minute. We could put some shards in there to speed that up. Let me go get some real quick.
Should have plenty.
Yeah. You got it. Let me give it a custom color so I can recognize it when I get back here. There's the map.
Hello, chat.
Hey, what's up? Miller, you don't have any objections to me putting a couple power shards in your manufacturer, do you? The one that's doing the heavy mod frames so we can boost things a little bit?
I do oppose.
Alright.
I do oppose to you doing that because it'd be better if you just made another manufacturer.
Oh, okay. Well, I can do that too.
That's why this the whole point of the bus system is that if you want to do more throughput, you just build to the side. You make more.
Right.
The cliffs make that a little harder, but
No, I can.
It's building all of that versus shoving 2 power shards into the machine. 2 of the 100 of power shards we have.
I know.
What else are we going to do with them other than shove them into the machine?
You're gonna shove them into the machines and then you're gonna run out. That's what's happened to me every time I try to use power shards. You run out in like 3 seconds.
I mean, I kind of ran all over the map, not just for the hard drives, but also to get quite a backlog of the power shards.
Yeah, no, I get it that you get a lot. I'm just not used to that.
Especially when it's like just, one machine. It's not. I'm not trying to do it to the entire factory.
Yeah.
Although that would be kind of funny. Just Miller comes in like 20 minutes late one time, and it's like, why is everything producing at double rate? Oh, everything has 3 power shards in it.
You're gonna give me a conniption, boy.
All right.
Fix it to number 8. Don't worry, be happy.
I need to
Don't
update.
worry, be happy now.
Do
Someone should
that.
write a song about that.
Um. All right, I can't really. Oh, shit. I don't really have a lot to do right now. I just need to wait for the thingy to thing.
You know what, Ray? Here's a little song I wrote.
Are
See
you
if
looking
know
up the
what-
lyrics right now?
No, I'm trying to remember what they are off the top of my head. Here's a little song I wrote. I hope you know it, not bad, not
Ah,
don't
Moth.
worry. Be happy.
I was
Don't
expecting
worry,
it.
be happy now.
I was expecting you to go a different direction and start with Hakuna Matata. 'Cause it's basically the same song.
It's ice cream chords. It's basically, yeah.
Ice cream. Wait, did you say ice cream chords?
Yes, ice cream chords.
What does that mean?
See, I don't know if this is a general term or if this is literally just one guy I heard said this once. It's basically there's a like four measure thing you can play, and then like every song works with it.
Oh, it's one of those.
Oh yeah, because
one
every
of
song
those.
is every song is in
Well,
4/4 if you stop counting like a nerd.
there are a couple of chord progressions like that where it's like the same goddamn song, like
Mm-hmm.
for the last like 400 years. There have been variations of it. Like a bunch of
Are you
pop
talking
songs.
about like Amen Break too?
No, it's like Taco Bell's canon. It's like I don't know. I don't know the terminology offhand, but I'm sure someone in the audience knows what I'm talking about, right? It's like you know it if you heard it. You know, it just sounds very catchy and kind of like tragic, but then uplifting at the end.
The 50s progression, also known as the heart and soul chord, the stand by me changes, the doo-wop progression, and the ice cream changes.
The ice cream changes. The ice cream changes.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of ominous.
The ice cream is always changing.
The ice cream are the chord progression of 1625 on the fifths. And it's the basis for a lot of pop, rock, soul, music, all kinds of stuff that
Yeah.
we think of as popular.
I'm sure it's like, yeah, thank you, Zeronian. Don't stop believing that one right there. And it's also there's one Maroon 5 song, and she will be loved, and like a bunch of other songs. Like you don't notice it because people put it in different keys, but it's just yeah. There's no new music. It all stopped in the 80s. I forgot how to disable my Steam notifications. All right. Do the thing over here with the thing and the thing sauce. You think the bus is going to get much longer?
Maybe. We're definitely gonna need to turn it before I add any more machines. Okay, yeah, actually, you're right. We do need power shards. Because there's no space to build another one. Well, hold on. Maybe there is if we
Oh.
take away this workshop.
Yeah.
Grammable.
Whatever you do, don't look at the end of the bus here.
Some of this until
Mm.
I built. Lift, and I don't have enough
Jonas, what are you doing?
Nothing. Don't look at the end of the bus here.
What
Otis.
are you doing?
Nothing. I'm not doing anything.
Jonas!
What? What?
Jonas.
What? You said to build another one.
Build another what?
Another, the manufacturer.
I don't think.
No. Do not do it there.
All right.
Do not have two of the same item being produced at two different locations. That is how you make horrible collisions.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna leave it here. I'm just making a batch for myself.
Yes, you are gonna leave it there because that's again the whole thing. You don't need to come back. You shouldn't have to keep coming back to it and repairing it and changing it, editing it. Once it's done, it's done.
Very well. I will exceed
Oh,
your.
Okay, you're making one for heavy modular frames.
Yeah. All right. Very well. I will work within the bus.
Here, I'm adding a manufacturer next to the first one, so we can double it, and then we can overclock both of them.
Okay. You want me to go get some shards?
I've got 20 on me.
Okay.
Yes, if you want to set the other machine that's right here, give it a nice, pretty paint job, and
Where are you?
I'm back where the heavy mod frames are being made.
Right.
Okay, set it away.
I will be right there.
What kind of thingy is this?
All right. Here's green. Where's the other one? I see it. Okay. Let's make this one purple.
What is this? Jonas.
Right.
What?
Nothing.
Am I in the way?
No, just your color choices.
Well, you don't like purple? You don't like purple and green? It works for the Riddler.
Works is doing a lot of work there.
Hang on, I'll let me link it up. Boop, da boop, ba bang.
Jonas, this is your lesson in the non-programming parts of programming. Don't put something there that's going to be temporary and say, "Oh, I'm going to come back to it later and fix it." No, you're not.
I would say we're not programming, but we are kind of programming.
There's no longer lasting permanent solution in programming than a temporary one.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at something in a code, it's like, oh, temporary measure, and the comment is dated like 17 years ago.
Well, I mean,
Mm.
you know.
I know a lot of when the
Okay,
TFT
what are-
source code leaked, there was a lot of stuff like that in there because it
Ugh,
had comments in it,
it's
What are
embarrassing.
you
and
shoving
it was
into
just
this
like,
one?
Well, I mean, wasn't some of that because, like, back in the day, there wasn't a whole lot of like version control and coordination, and because the people didn't really like the program.
I mean, maybe, but that would have
It's-
been like
It happens even
2006.
with it happens even with that. It's because like people need to get things done now.
Well, yeah,
and-
that and like. Go ahead.
And as soon as you tell your boss, "Hey, I got the thing done. There's a temporary thing," they're like, "Cool, on to the next thing."
Yeah.
And they're not going to give you the time to then go back to it because they need another thing now.
No refactoring allowed.
Yeah, the corporate structure of
It
stuff.
it
usually
quote
doesn't-
unquote adds no value.
Miller is
And
my
you're not
version
doing anything
control.
new.
Ron
If
Rep
it
says,
technically works, it technically works.
Ron Rep says you're my version control, Miller. Will you be my version control?
I will
Saying
be
Miller
your
is a
VC.
very angry bird.
There are merge conflicts here. How dare you
Coming
undo
from
all of your work?
Okay.
Weren't we just talking about that specific issue last night?
Maybe.
All right. So heavy mod frames have been doubled. Like no, more than doubled. They've been like quadrupled.
Quintuple.
It's a thing that's been more prevalent in my work recently. I don't understand why,
Me.
but I'm now working at one of the big tech companies, and oh my god, their internal like merge software is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Nice.
Oh, they've got an internal one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's one of the big FANG companies.
sorry, Miller. Right now, 100% of mod frames are going to the next manufacturer for ACUs. Can I divert that to a downstairs, half of that to a downstairs storage unit?
Yeah, you can make a smart splitter for it. Hold
Well,
on.
this isn't. It's not already
Wait, for what?
All the mod frames are going to the adaptive control unit manufacturer. We need to have some going to storage. So I wanted to. I'm gonna go ahead and make a smarty, and then have that go through a floor hole down to the lower level where some of them get stored, because we need some reserve.
There should be.
It should be right here.
Where?
Yeah. No, it's here. Where are you, Jonas?
I'm at the end.
Okay,
I'm
that's
having-
not. That's not where they are. They're over here, though.
Yeah,
They're at the elbow.
It's underneath me.
Hang on. Oh, there already is one. Okay, fine. Never
Yeah.
mind. Sorry, I was looking at the end point. I thought maybe they were all going there. That's fine. Okay, in that case,
And it's just a normal splitter, so it's half of all of our output is being put into a container.
Makes sense.
Now I need to figure out how to get more concrete. Apparently, we don't have enough concrete.
Yeah, we were.
Concrete?
That was the last thing we were looking at last night.
Well, there's plenty on the belt.
What was GC doing here? He filled this
he was
pipe
work-
with crude oil, even though it's going into something that requires heavy oil residue.
He
I
was.
think he's very confused about what he's trying to do.
Well, he said he was trying to do smokeless powder, but I don't know what kind of configuration he had going on.
This one is plastic.
All right, we need
That creates a heavy oil
220.
residue. But the heavy oil
Right.
residue should be
30.
coming out of this one. So there's a heavy oil residue. Where's that going?
We need
Packaged
230
heavy oil
concrete.
residue.
We're making 160. Okay. Need more limestone.
Okay, should I see you've built the granite or the concrete factory up here. Should I delete the? Oh, you're here.
Should you delete the what?
The factory that was down there, where this was going to.
Maybe. Yeah, you can.
All right.
And then see if that lets you clean up any other pipes, makes them a little.
Why is he packaging the heavy oil residue?
Oh no.
So you could transport it to where he's trying to make smokeless powder.
I think
But
he was
it's
trying
right
to do the
here.
I think he's trying to do the packaged fuel thing. Again, I think he was very
You
confused.
don't need to package this, I'm pretty sure, because he just immediately unpackages it. There's a
Yeah.
refinery right here. Now,
So,
all you need is some heavy oil residue and a source of black powder in order to make smokeless powder.
right. I don't know.
Okay. Miner Mark II.
Oh, first of all, that's like Dogman West.
Oh yeah, Monster.
You did the
No,
monster
it's just the regular night light eyes.
Wait a minute. What happened to my signs? Why are they out?
It's actually normal West. This is just what he looks like in October. It's a a changeling biological thing.
Heavy oil residue, 10 per minute.
This is what happens when you drink too much Mountain Dew.
Somebody
That's
changed my.
fine.
Did somebody change the signs in the in Grand Central? Because they all look like they reset.
Let's remove this.
I was asking about that like several sessions ago. That there were
damn it.
some that looked like they just weren't right.
I don't. So
I
don't
have
know
not
what
touched
goes.
them.
No, that's fine. I just need to redo them because now I need. I mean, I don't know what goes to where, so I have to like actually like travel through them. Give me a minute here.
Let's make the miner.
What is he doing here?
Wait, where the hell does it go? It just snapped. There it goes.
I mean, this is making some rubber, but we have all the rubber we need now, so...
There we go. Okay, and this is Ooh, this is also pure, so we can make another 480 limestone a minute. But I need more encased beams in order to handle that kind of output.
Okay, this is the heavy oil residue output to go to being removed because that is incorrect.
Alright, I'm fixing these now. Randy bow.
Guess I'll just do this a fast and loose way because I do not want to pretty up GC's thing.
That's fine.
Wait, did you say you don't want to pretty it up?
Well, it's GC's thing. I just want to make it work.
Oh, I see. Alright, fair
Okay.
enough.
Heavy oil residue is going into the smokeless powder thing. Now it just needs a source of black powder, which I have some on me. So I just put that in, and it makes some smokeless powder.
I did tell you guys that I made a bunch and it's at the hub, right?
Bunch of what?
Smokeless powder?
Black and smokeless powder, yeah. It's sitting behind the equipment workshop.
Oh.
There's a trio of PSBs. One is literally full with black powder, one's full of smokeless, and one's mostly full of smokeless.
I mean, I judge by everyone's stunned silence that the answer is no, Ray.
Alrighty. I'm also going to clean up some of the power poles here, because there's a lot that aren't connected to anything anymore since we've removed stuff.
Oh, okay.
We could also upgrade several of them, because I know a lot of that area was, we only had Mark 1s at the time. Right, are you still at the first area? Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Bean, get out of here.
What?
Stupid space whale, dolphin, tick, alien thing.
I had the moth, like, squash me right as it was on the bus collecting stuff. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how it just like flies through everything now.
Yeah.
Do we need black powder once we have smokeless?
You need black powder to make smokeless, don't you?
Yeah.
You need black powder for a lot of things.
Shows how much I pay attention to the military manufacturing.
It's fine, Millie. You're in the zone. You're in the bus zone. We even made this tube. Man.
Alright, how am I going to unbalance this? I need to have one to do over here. Don't have enough metal plates. What?
Regular or
Yeah, it's just normal iron plates. I just didn't have enough on me to keep building foundations.
I was gonna say because the line here is backed up.
Yep, grab 1,000 of them and probably be good for another couple days.
Yes.
Hello, Drifter Clops. Alright, where do we have these hundreds of cores, you say? Or hundreds of power shards?
Right?
Ray?
I'm sorry, what?
Where do we have these hundreds of power shards?
Oh, they're on me. If they're not in the hub.
Probably several at the hub anyway.
Yeah, where is Miller?
I'm at the hub. I need 9.
I don't know how many's in the hub. I have 70 on me.
So far, I'm seeing none. Oh wait, in the hub's PCB. It's 20. Take all those. We'd appreciate if you deposit some of those, Ray.
Yeah.
Is that everything? That was everything. Shit, the whole grid's
Hold
down.
on.
Oh, never mind. It's back.
I think I have found a weak point in our power network.
Where is it?
It's over by this new limestone thing that I'm producing. There's apparently just one power line that everything runs through.
Oh, you did a thing and it thinged. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I was worried maybe we hit overhead.
No.
All right, well.
No, I just didn't realize that was a critical connection.
All right, no worries. All right, I redid the signs and everything. Let me go check and see how we are doing on frames.
Probably not great because I think we're still short on concrete, which I'm working on right now.
Okay. And one thing I also want to do is just double check and see if any other signs got budged for some reason. No, they're all okay. All right, that's good.
$160. Okay. Oh my God, no! That's not where I want that to go.
I think some heavy mod frames out to Forest Lake Oil.
Okay.
Yeah. Nope. All right. Now I need to look at what I'm doing real quick. Satisfactory notes. There we go.
Why can these collide with each other more than they should?
Oh no, I'm doing some sums. I'm not messing with anything.
Trying to
Jonas,
figure
you know how we feel about you doing math.
trying to figure out how I'm gonna do all this. It's gonna be very spaghetti, but I mean, I'm trying to navigate over like natural formations. It's kind of inevitable.
Oh shit, the only deep water is like way the fuck over there. Alright, fine. No problem. Actually, before I do any of this crap, let me do something else.
Ah, too long, just barely. Ugh. All right. Chopping down some trees, chopping down some trees. Don't need the trees, just need conveyor belts. Whoever needed trees? Trees are dumb.
They are. They're just oxygen factors. I mean, what the hell?
I get all the oxygen I need from my suit. Like, why would you ever need a whole factory for that?
Exactly. Trees
It's
are
so
chumps.
inefficient.
I mean, when was the last time a tree did anything nice for you? Huh? I'm just saying. I have rubber. Do you guys need rubber? Does anyone need rubber?
No,
No,
we are
not
good
really.
on rubber now.
Okay. Just realized I have like a mess of rubber in my hand.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things you go from, we don't have anywhere near enough from this, we have literally zero of it, to what do I do with all of this?
Yeah.
Well, that happens when you take apart the one manufacturer you have for rubber, and then you replace it 2 days later with one that makes 900 a minute. Physically impossible to use all this goddamn rubber.
God dang it.
Why does it take a manufacturer to make a modular engine when it only has 3 pieces?
Because it's 3. There's 1 is the constructor, 2 is the assembler, and anything more than that is the manufacturer.
Oh,
There's
there wasn't
nothing in the middle.
Okay.
There's nothing for 3.
I need more steel pipes.
I'm almost out of fuel. I need to go back after this.
Wait a minute. Damn it. The steel pipes sign disappeared. Alright, whatever, I'm over it.
Alright, there we go.
Good for you, Jonas.
Thank you.
Now we've upgraded to 320 concrete per minute.
Nice. That should definitely do a little boost.
Number go up.
Numbers go.
Numbers go up. But I need to figure out how I want to do this.
That's most games, really.
Yeah,
Number go up.
kind of hard to quantify success in any other way.
That intrinsic sense of fulfillment.
When you get
No.
right down to it, everything's a number of something.
Really, Rick? Is happiness a number?
Gotcha.
So you can have more happy people than unhappy
It's-
people.
It's the amount of serotonin in your brain. There,
Exactly.
that's
Oh no.
No.
or endorphins or whichever one it is. There's multiple happy chemicals, right?
Well,
Is serotonin,
Serotonin-
dopamine, endorphins? Endorphins is like the
Dopamine.
category.
there's also norepinephrine. I don't know, kinda depends
What
on-
is it? Like serotonin is the like satisfaction. Serotonin is like long-term happiness, and dopamine is short-term happiness. Dopamine is what you get when you eat chocolate. Serotonin is what you get when somebody loves you, or when you do something and you're proud of it.
I think so.
It's like pleasure versus satisfaction.
I trust Miller enough to know what he's talking about to not open Wikipedia.
I am almost 100% bullshitting.
Oh, okay. Alright, that's 120.
It's not as pretty, but it works.
That's fine. That's all we need.
Why is it not working?
Wait, I thought
Pretty,
you
but it
was
works. Wait, it's not working.
Oh, power.
working. That does help.
That thing that we do.
We're at about 2/3 of actual like ceiling. Although I noticed that our max consumption is higher than our current ceiling. I'm assuming there's something that's like, it must be all the stuff Rick's building.
Well,
It's-
there's also things aren't always at 100% efficiency. So, like, if all the machines were on all at once, then we would be at our max consumption, but
Right.
they're not going to be at perfect usage at all times.
All right, I'll just roll with it
Plus,
for now.
plus we have a bunch of machines that are connected that are like just not working at all. Like the ones I have set up for making fabric or making smokeless powder or whatnot. Like I just shove stuff into that to convert it, and once what I've shoved in there runs out, they're just off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, cool. Concrete is ready to go. The new concrete storage container is right next to the iron plate storage container. So if you need more concrete, that's where you do it now.
Hey, your burb?
I beg your bourbon.
Once again, you have proven that the burb is the verb. I don't. That's gibberish. Have I gone too far? Oh, that's deep water. Okay, never mind. That's colorful. Look at all those weird little whatever the hell they are. It's like coral or something. Such a beautiful ecosystem. I probably shouldn't build stuff all over it.
What game are you playing?
Alright, so I need 200 a minute of
So
water.
you need to rethink your words ever so slightly.
200 divided by 120. 3 extractors,
There's
one
Some high-speed
power.
connectors.
Why are all these power lines full?
Alright, fix this shit up. This looks ugly as sin.
Wait a sin, twice as sinful.
No! No sin, only holy geometry.
Oh, you mean like that whole like doing like sacred geometry over there?
Yeah.
Doing that old
I appreciate some sacred geometry.
tetragram framorama. That's what it's called. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm. That's definitely it. Alright, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one. 9, 10, 11. Okay, so I do need another node to pass through, so I guess it'll be this one. Sure, that one.
Pipe max is 300 a minute, right? Yeah. I didn't plan this very well. No, I didn't.
Oh no, Jonas.
No, it's fine. It's out of the way. Don't even worry about it. You'll never even know this thing is here unless you like stumble across it. In which case, just pretend it's not here. You saw nothing. You saw nothing. You saw nothing. No, just doing my part to boost the old power overhead. Oh.
Much better. And then we can change this belt out so it no longer has this hook shape in it. There we go. Much cleaner.
Oh, that's poison.
Oh, the thing that's making me choke and die very quickly. That's poison.
That's poison.
The poison. The poison chosen for Cusco. Cusco's poison.
God damn it. That's one of those lines that Stoker's always doing. Like by reflex. I've probably contributed to that. It's probably my fault. Let's
Patrick Warburton was just like incredible in that movie, though. Yeah, Cusco's poison. Poison for Cusco. The Cusco meant for. Poison meant for Cusco.
Yeah. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna do my operation right here because that way it's nice and out of the way. Your operation.
Is he the one you said wanted to voice Artemis?
Oh yeah. Well, that was like a fan suggestion. I thought, you know what? That works. That actually works pretty well. I think Stoker has like a different like there's somebody else that he would prefer, but I don't remember who it is. I'm just gonna make a marker right. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna try and
Who
keep
would
this out
voice
of the way.
Artemis?
Yeah, I kind of imagine something kind of genial and big, you know. So Patrick Warburton's kind of like an ideal choice, but I don't know. Make that a drop. Now let me route.
Like, why? You know who my mind goes to first think of?
Hold on.
John Cena.
Cena? Nice.
John Cena voiced Artemis.
All right,
Did not
let's
pick
see,
up
what
any
do we
gold.
got here?
Okay,
There
so
it is.
we have an inordinate amount of plastic and rubber now.
Ray, how many shards you got left? Not critical, I'm just curious.
My inventory is so full.
Okay.
Uh,
Missing wire. Oh. God damn it.
where are they? Oh, 70.
All right. That's
Jonas,
fine.
can you send some package fuel over the line?
Yeah, on it right now. I'm up at North Oil, but I'll grab a bunch and bring along to you. How much you need? Like-
Just a couple hundred.
Okay. Coming up, bolts. Be right there. Oh, that's a train.
Hi. Jonas, what else are you getting for them?
Nothing. I mean, unless something's needed.
Alright, then let me grab the fuel because I want to go check this out and see what they've
Okay.
been working on.
Oh yeah, sure. All right, let me put it back in the bin then.
You can come
All right,
check our work and tell us that we're doing the piping all wrong or something.
No.
Nice. Let me. All right, in that case, I'm gonna go pick up the wire I need.
I'll be back in a minute.
But I've been trying to be better about being critical about stupid shit like that and let people do their own thing.
Yeah, Miller. Let us breathe. Let us be artists. No, it's fine. I don't give a shit.
More motors.
More motors? Okay, hold
No,
on.
I think there's still motors here. I'm going to check.
Okay. I'm at the bus, so if anything in particular needs doing, let me know.
Okay, so what's the... What pipe am I taking to get down there, right, Rick?
Lake oil.
Lake oil.
I also installed a stopover in the hub.
Miller, are you seeing the labels in Grand Central?
I am indeed do.
Okay. They either glitched out or something happened. So I wanted to just confirm. After I was looking at the length of the bus, I went online and Googled like the largest factory by square footage in the world, and it turns out it's here in Washington. It's the Boeing facility up in Everett.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's basically 100 acres of factory, 100 football fields.
I mean, I'm coming upon it now, and I already like it. I like what I see.
And that looks pretty good. Oh, Fed too. Fed and Rick are pretty good.
Hello.
Okay.
Whole bunch of fuel in this PCB by the crafting stations.
Awesome. Thank you.
do we got?
Let me Rick, you guys need more heavy mod frames?
Yes.
All right, let me see what's in the bin. Send a bunch over.
I've got 20 on me. Does that help?
Yes, it will. Need 10 for each of these. Thinking.
Where you at?
We're a little over halfway done.
All right, we got 42 in the bin. I am sending them over now.
This is going to be the extent because the corner collides
Oh yeah? Okay.
with rock here, so we will be needing to make the second floor soon.
Oh, Rick, did you need more motors too?
There were plenty of motors in there.
Okay. All right, sending over 42.
We might still be able to build out into the lake a little more, but it'd be
Hi, Rick.
uneven.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
I am. Okay. If you don't need anything else, I'm gonna head back up and do my thing.
Chat says you're now playing Satisfactory.
Okay. There it is. All right, let's get it online.
Like this.
I see you guys have an inbound and outbound path.
Yeah, I actually did that thinking you might want to harvest stuff from the, from the big oil factory. Although things have changed a little bit, obviously. When we get the initial part of Lake Oil up and running, and then we start expanding it, I can see about maybe like routing like plastics or whatever. I don't know. Depends what you need.
Yeah.
Basically, like once that's done, we can start figuring out like quantities and such.
Aw.
Keep running
There's
out of
GC.
everything.
He's just sitting here, sipping his coffee.
Oh, GC. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the old game, Ray is parked at the at the multicolored Grand Central Station, looking out at the view. Okay. There we go. That is extracting. Let's do some pipage.
Flo Doziana says, hey, so real quick, what was that form Rick was in where he was like overshadowed by something and glowing green eyes?
That's Dogman. Dogman
Yeah.
form.
Dogman form / monster.
I'm back.
Hello.
Oh, it's just Stoat.
Yes. Rick is Stout. Satisfactory.
She give the Stoat the glowing green eyes too.
Okay, where's your actual oil extractors? I want to see this whole flow.
Where is he?
Oh, that'll.
Oh, they're all right here.
Yeah.
Well, you're only harvesting 2 of them. Even. No, you're only doing 1 of them right
Yeah,
now.
we're only doing 1 for this entire thing.
Okay, here we go.
Because you're also super overclocking it, I see.
All right, this time I'm making the foundations 4 meters. 4 meters, so they're above the water line. Hey, thinking ahead.
Thank you, Jonas.
You're welcome.
Jonas, and if you want to do one more thing, when you
Oh.
place the first foundation, hold control, it will snap it to the world grid. So it's like north-south aligned.
How do I build multiple lines of foundation at once?
You press R, and it'll select your mode. You want to select Zoop. You want your mode to be Zoop.
I press R?
Yes, just press
You
R.
press... Yeah,
weird.
so
The
you
little
take out...
indicator. There's a little indicator that says what your build mode is. You have normal and Zoop.
Okay. Ah, there we go. Okay, cool.
Need to do that because when you're in Zoop, you technically need to double click to finish your build.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Crude gets turned into heavy to do.
Zoop.
Doodles.
Always wanted this Zoop.
Heavy residue. Oh, you... Nice. You color-coded the pipelines based on what's in them.
Yes.
Well,
It's
kind
that
of.
one.
There's a black pipe that has water in it, but you know.
Well, Frederick did that one. I think he just colored that because it's going into the black refineries over there.
I should go do that.
You
don't
really
have any-
should.
Yeah, thanks. There's no color on it right now, and kind of want to color it up and put it in a box and call it a present.
Aw.
I don't know.
I'm sure we'll all appreciate it.
Are color cartridges technically not renewable?
Correct? Because I don't think plants are grown in this game.
Yeah, but you will have like several million, I think, if you
Yeah, as I
just.
said, those are just flowers, right?
Yeah, and
Not-
they produce
not
a lot.
infinite.
And they produce a lot of color.
Not infinite, but more than we could ever use.
Okay, 5 refineries. Anyway.
Yeah, so let me go stop by the hub and go pick up some color cartridges and petals and whatnot. And then there's
Very well.
concrete as well, and then I'll go to North Oil and beautify things a bit. So I'm not 100% on what else to do at the moment. We're getting very close to finishing the space elevator, so
Nice.
probably just need to... Actually, it might be at the point where you could probably turn at least the control unit one off and just let the stuff that's on the line get to the elevator.
Not yet. I got
No?
impatient.
I see.
Ray, how could you?
I was like, oh, maybe there's enough. There was not enough.
Spoiler.
There was not enough.
Okay, there we go.
Alright. There's paint. Let's take some painty boys.
I like the concrete better than the metal foundations. Said Jonas, no one in particular.
Oh, I agree with you.
Oh, okay, cool. Validation. It just looks more realistic on this surreal alien world. Whatever.
Yeah, you wouldn't have like beams and plates riveted to those beams every 8 feet or whatever.
Yeah, it does look a little strange. Let's see. Do I get? Oh no. Okay. Fine. Let's see here.
Well, I guess yeah. Also, because it doesn't have the concrete ones don't have any like border to them. They tessellate a lot nicer.
Right.
And then I need concrete, which I can grab out of our new concrete container. Huzzah!
Oh wait, this does not need to be going over here. Okay. Let's see. That should be
What's going
okay.
on, Jonas?
Oh, I'm just doing my little side project with refineries. It's nothing particularly interesting. Just doing my thing, learning and sharing and caring. Does the music ever cut in and out for you all?
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Miller. How's it going? Wait, that wasn't emote. What's the emote again?
Hold T.
T, right.
All right. You want to rock paper scissors?
Sure. What are we competing for?
3, 2, 1. Damn it!
Anyway, I'm just sort of. Do you want to help me here?
What you doing? So you're getting crude into heavy
Okay.
oil, and heavy oil into
Rubber and heavy res. Rubber's going to wherever. Awesome Sink, whatever. Refinery. 100 meters heavy res coming out of these, going to 2 more refineries to make, with plus 200 a minute of water to make 200 a minute of fuel. And then on top of that, I'm going to build 17 fuel gens eventually. Probably not right this second. Does that make sense?
okay. And then what are you doing with the polymer resin?
No, not polymer resin, rubber. And I'm probably going to like pipe it back to, I don't know, probably an awesome thing. I didn't really have a particular purpose. I just want to get more power on the grid.
Boogie.
Anyway, let me start the piping over here. There we go. I hope that's not too close. Junction. It is. I think it might. Is it too close? Is it just on the thing? Okay, fine. Oh, come on. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh. Hold on. I don't have enough clearance. Oh, Miller's fault. Jinxed it by doing the paper, scissors, rock.
How dare you accuse me of such tomfoolery?
Just had to bird up the place, didn't you? Just burn it all over with your bird noises.
So rude, mister. I have to wash my hands before I hold onto anything.
Oh.
That's just good hygiene.
All right, let me move my junction cross a little further out. You know.
Kind of that you can't like zoop the art tool, I guess. No, I guess you can just hold down.
You just might paint over everything.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm standing underneath the factory right now, and I'm painting all the foundations from the underside. So it's easier to figure out if I miss any instead of trying to like paint around the machines. Because when I make a factory, I don't make it in the ground. I make it about 10 feet off the ground. So I can get underneath it if I need to.
Right. I should probably adopt a similar philosophy. In the real world, I guess there would be always utility stuff underneath the thingy.
Yeah, space inside the foundation.
Right. Okay, let's see how we're doing on pressure. Blub, blub, blub. Blub, blub. Oh, looks like it's going okay. Yeah. Pipes are piping. God damn it, what's Stoker emailing me? Okay. 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 Let's see. Trying to figure out like how much is a reasonable amount of clearance between foundation refinery banks. Whatever.
I'm doing.
Maybe holding it's not a good idea. Because I
But
think I'm ending up painting the same thing multiple times and it's taking resources each time I do.
yikes.
I was like, how am I gone through like 3,000 concrete already? Because I like hold it down, I swipe over like 3 things, and I see it should be 2 concrete per thing. It has now taken like 20 from me.
Nice.
And it's like, oh, because everything gets triple costed. Great.
Five. And 2 of these. Two of these? Whatever. Okay.
Well, how did I read in chat before I noticed it on the screen that phase 3 is complete?
Because it doesn't give you like any indication.
Alright, but yeah, I'm running back there.
Running back to throw that switch.
I'm gonna push the button. I'm gonna push the button!
You doing something in the space elevator?
Yeah, it says we're ready to go on the next tier.
Nice. Hold your switch! Hang on, I'm gonna watch the thing go up. It's like the 4th of July. In space.
Hey, can I see it from here? There it is.
Alright, T minus 60 seconds or so.
Okay. I hope whatever the end game state is, it's something really like interesting. I mean, not that I don't enjoy the process for its own sake, but I mean like, it needs to be something awesome.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Everyone ready?
Ready.
Ready? Right, time for dawn. Too.
Sealed.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Load. Seal. Send.
Is that the last phase of the space elevator? Oh no, there's phase
No.
4. Of course, there's phase 4.
There's phase 4. That's the one that needs the nuclear pasta. That's going to take a while.
Right. So we're gonna be.
But I think this is the last. This is the last phase that unlocks something. When we complete phase 4, I don't think it unlocks anything. It just stops there.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. With Lake Oil up, we should have plenty of power overhead. So
Yeah, what are our options for the new tier?
I don't know. What do we got?
FedEx is aluminum first, yeah. Aluminum's going to be
Aluminum
needed
will
for
be
most of the
important.
things.
Yeah, aluminum's kind of critical. That's not centered.
Yeah, literally, there are 5 pieces, and all but the first one requires aluminum.
Hmm.
So I can just grab the stuff for this off of the line here.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, it's just slightly too long. Change
Moments here.
elevation. Okay, that's...
Okay.
No, that...
Okay. It's good. And here comes the plastic. Or the plastic. Polyresin. That's 100 heavy res. Need 2 more refineries.
Boop, boop. And we have aluminum.
Milestone reached. Quartz and bauxite scanning.
Well,
A new
we have the
generator
technology
We have
for
aluminum.
aluminum.
parts is
All
now
the aluminum we
available,
could
which
need
can
right
be
here.
constructed from bauxite
Ah.
after a complex process of refinement. The blender will be
The
used
aluminum
in
was
future
inside you all
processes.
along.
I hope not.
Um, cool. Alright, well now we gotta figure that out at some point.
Oh, that's right. I built two over here. That's right.
I don't know. This thing's there, but
Holy shit. I'm so high right now.
I'm sorry?
How high are you?
About halfway up to the space elevator station.
Pretty high, Miller.
I can see over most of the map. I can see see oil from here, the south oil.
Miller is very high right now.
Hmm. So I wanted to get up here because I just wanted to explore a bit and run around. Got some itching to do that. But now I'm looking down at the bus because I'm basically right above the cavern that the bus needs to now run through. And yeah, we definitely should have turned it sooner.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's gonna have to be like disconnected where the continued part isn't just off the end.
Right.
But should be good for a while. Have it going in the right direction.
Piper Junction.
Oh, they don't even require aluminum, they require alclad sheets? Oh god.
That bad?
Yeah, we gotta like combine aluminum and copper and stuff. It's just a little bit harder.
That's fine. Just Put it on the bus. Put it on the bus. Let's see. Oh, I see. Okay. Wait, where the hell does it go? Is heavy resin water. Hold on a second. Let me look at this. Diluted. Oh, it's a blender. Do we have blenders yet?
No.
Nope.
Excuse me.
Balls. All right, that's fine. That's fine. I'll figure something else out.
No, Mr. Mothman, I don't want to go on your wild ride.
All right, let me just. I have to change the formula. I don't know what. Oh, I have to flush the pipes. Ooh. All right, well, let me put everything on standby. Jesus. Well, I'm learning. Learning is good.
Are you, though?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Good for you.
I'm a smart. I'm a smart little lad. I'm gifted.
Of course you are, Jonas. Of course you are.
Did any of you play any educational games in school when you were kids?
Yes.
What?
I played them at home.
Yes.
Oh, fair enough. Like, did you have any favorites?
Jumpstart third grade.
Which one was that? I don't remember that one.
It was the one with the robot Botley.
Oh,
There was one in 5th grade that I refused to stop playing it and continue on with the next lesson in class. It was a Old West game that had you managing a farm and you had to like track soil composition and weather patterns and stuff.
Hmm.
You had to know, you're just like, oh, if you have potatoes in this field one season, next season you have to have something that's nitrogen rich. Or, you have to like add phosphorus or whatever.
I guess Sim Farm was kind of like that, but it never actually told you any of that in game, so you're just left to wonder why your farm keeps dying.
Hmm.
Yeah, we need more heavy
Well, I
modular
mean-
frames now.
shit. Okay, let me head down to the thing. Let me switch off one
I
machine.
gotta try to build some here with some parts we have.
Okay. I mean, I can put some on the belt.
Yeah, you
Just
need,
give me-
we're going to still need several more.
All right, give me a minute. I need to run over there.
Got a lot of encased beams over there, and that's usually the main, like, difficult ingredient.
EIBs are the toughest?
They're the ones that are like the most expensive part of
Ah, okay.
heavy modular frames.
I always look at those things, man. They look like white chocolate bars to me, with nuts in the middle.
The forbidden white chocolate bars.
That's it. My favorite educational game was probably Treasure Mountain. Even though that game is like for first graders. I kept playing it while in the 6th grade because it's an interesting game.
Did you play the other ones?
Yes, and also the
Treasure
other-
Cove, Treasure. There was one in space.
I did not play the space one.
There was Treasure Mountain, but it's snowy this time.
I did play that one.
Nice.
Well, they had a thing where it was like, oh, you go through, do all the whatever majigs, and then they give you like an item or whatever at the end, a little trophy thing, and they had like, I don't know, like 100 of them in the game, and you got a different one every time, and there was no real expectation that you would get all of them, but it was just like, oh, a new thing, oh, a new thing.
And there are 18 heavy mod frames in here. Okay, fine.
Yeah, there were there were educational games and quote educational games
Mhm.
like Dino Park Tycoon. I'm sure there was some lesson there, but
It's like when Minecraft gets brought up as an educational game, and I'm just like, really?
I mean, there's an argument, but
it can be a tool for it, but it's not inherently educational.
Yes. You would need a very structured map in order to make that like educational. Whether it's supposed to be like learning how to work with other people or I don't know, something else.
Treasure Galaxy, that was the space one.
Who here played Carmen San Diego? I did not play Carmen San Diego,
course.
but
I
I
never
watched.
actually played Carmen
Oh,
San Diego.
yeah. Well, I was just at that generation where I like the first few, like USA and World came out, and I was all over that shit. I thought it was so awesome. I was like, I'm doing research and I'm figuring out secrets, and no one would ever know how to beat this game if they didn't know exactly where to look. You know, I'm such a smart little lad. You know. that
Okay,
was-
so Miller, we've got some new recipes, and I have no idea which of these are good. We have pure aluminum ingot, which takes 2 aluminum scrap for 1 ingot. We've got alclad casings, which take 20 ingots and 10 copper to make 15 casings. And then we've got electrode aluminum scrap, which takes 12 aluminum solution, 4 coke to make 20 scrap, and 7 water.
Pure aluminum, it's literally the best of this tier.
It
Okay.
vastly simplifies aluminum processing.
Right, now we'll throw the next one in. Got half a dozen of these things.
10 minutes apiece, though, right?
I didn't catch that.
10 minutes apiece, though, right?
Yeah.
What was I doing next? I was going to go to North Oil. Color things and do stuff.
Miller, I might need your help here.
Huh?
Actually, never mind. I'm good. Never mind. I'm good. I figured out what I need to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I was having trouble flushing the pipes, but I realized I just need to like delete a segment if I'm going to do that. No, wait. No, I do. Okay, you know what? I do need your help. I need your help because I deleted a segment and it's still not flushing properly.
All right, hold on.
Oh wait, hang on. No, I figured it out. I'm good.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm coming up there anyway. I'm waiting for the train to go.
I need to flush the entire pipe network, not the pipe segment. There we go. Flush, flush.
What are you flushing?
Oil.
Oil go down the hole.
Okay. People don't usually ask me what I'm flushing.
Is it cube shaped, Jonas?
Is it bigger than a bread box? I hope not. Anyway, let me.
Oh, kid pics. Yep,
Kid pics.
remember that. It was
Was
like
that actually
a
educational? Because that was just an art program that had a bunch of silly stamp features.
Nope, it was not educational at all. I mean, I guess it taught you how to use art software, if you consider that an important part of education.
We were talking about Carmen San Diego, and the only thing I ever had any real attachment to with that whole concept was the kids game show Where in Time is Carmen San Diego?
Oh, about
Was it
the
the one with
original one?
I never saw that one. somehow.
Really?
That
Aw.
was definitely
Same.
on the air when I was watching.
I only saw the Where's in Time. I did not watch the original live action one. I only watched the animated one.
So good.
Well, the Where's in Time show was also live.
Yeah, the game show.
Oh,
But was
what's
there
the
also a
live?
cartoon?
There was
Yeah.
also a cartoon.
Oh, then yeah, I only saw the cartoon.
I am not talking about the cartoon, I'm talking about the game show.
Yes. Yeah, I never heard the Carmen Sandiego doo-wop song until I was much older.
Aw. Missed out. Good times. Let's see, 150 divided by 60. Oops.
Have so many fuel beams.
Ah. Days around the world.
Kiev to Carolina.
Let's see. I like how it's all just buried in our subconscious.
See, if we all sing at once, we might get a little too quartet-y, and we might get content claimed.
That happened. I've heard of that happening, but I've never actually seen that happen. Like,
What
The
the?
only person I've heard of that happening to was Smooth McGroove.
Oh, that's smooth.
Oh, that's because it's because he was making money off of it, and they don't give a shit if you're actually covering it. They just want their money. They want to make sure they can steal. They want to make sure they can take his money. Is what it was.
All right, 150 a minute. Shit, I can't believe I botched this. Don't have a blender.
I don't think Oregon Trail was very educational, other than teaching you the names of diseases you could die from.
Yep.
Oh, was I gonna do this? Was I gonna do this?
I like the modern take on that. The Death Road to Canada. Yeah, Death Road to Canada.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of inspired by it. Problem is that one just has, it's much more video gamey because you just smack zombies with a baseball bat.
But yeah, because it's also more fun, and computers can handle fun now.
It was not that computers couldn't handle fun; it's that designers couldn't make fun. They didn't know how to.
They had to write books on why their game was fun.
No, I'm just amused.
What
by the
was it?
concept.
What was it? Strongbad said, like, I thought trading card games were outlawed the day they invented good graphics.
Okay, so that's 66.6 fuel a minute. Okay.
Syrian Ember saying, teaching you never float your wagon. There was in early grade school, we had computer lab time, which was just playing games on the computer lab, and a whole bunch of people would be playing. The main games were Dino Park Tycoon, Oregon Trail, and I think Cross Country USA, something where you're like a semi-truck driver driving across the U.S. and shipping things.
Nice.
And I remember one time that someone caulked their wagon and floated it, and it actually succeeded, and a whole bunch of us like gathered around just to watch it because we were amazed it worked.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna reactivate that.
For those of you who are a little bit younger, what Ray is talking about is a no cap moment.
Amazing. Okay, how are we doing here? Well, goes blurp, blurp, blurp.
Made to speed up your typing speed. Oh, that makes me think of the even earlier games of like Math Blaster and Number Munchers.
Yes,
Jenny,
but
remember...
those were also not actually fun.
Oh, you know what that just reminded me of? Mother frickin' Zoom beanies.
See, now I have no idea what they're talking about.
I do not
I don't know what that is either.
What?
That must have been after all of our times.
Okay.
It was one where you're trying to lead this group of like randomly generated little
50.
cartoon characters through an island, and the island kept having
Oh,
troubles
I
of
think
just
I've
like
heard of that one.
you had to like sort them based on their like physical appearances and stuff, and you like had to do different logic puzzles with that.
It's kind of like a lemming sort of thing.
Kind of, yeah.
It's like turn-based lemmings.
We're making fuel and oh, it's just fuel. Okay.
You know, when I was in elementary school, I was also in the gifted program, so we also had like Lego Mindstorms. So we were like programming Lego robots and stuff.
I remember that there was you said island, and that triggered a spark. There was some island game that a lot of people played back then.
Island game.
Was it called
Island of Doctor something?
Dr. Moreau?
No.
No.
Okay, I need 2 more. I need 2 more.
Simon Tosa says my exposure to Zumbinis was solely at the local science museum. It was a Mac CD-ROM game, so it'd be late 90s at the earliest.
Nice.
Yeah, I would have played that like 2001 to 2003, sometime around there.
Good times. Okay. Refi. Battery. I'm out of supplies. Boo.
I am out of fuel.
Being out of things. What are you doing?
Well, where are we making the fuel?
That is a
Still
very good
north. Still North Refinery. It's not being shipped back or anything.
Okay, so we have the alkyd clasing again, which is the ingots plus the copper makes the aluminum casings. We've got the alternate radio control system, which takes oscillators, circuit boards, aluminum casings, and rubber. And then we have diluted fuel, which takes oil residue and water to make fuel.
That one.
Yeah, that one.
And that makes me want to go double check to see if that's as efficient as the packaging one. I don't think it is, but
It takes 5 heavy oil residue, 10 water to make 10 fuel.
We need a blender for that one, though.
oh, it's in a blender. I see.
Yeah, it's because I was trying to make it myself.
Right, because the normal refinery only has one fluid in, one solid in, so it can't take 2 fluids.
Correct.
It can't take fuel and water. That's why you do the packaged fuel stuff.
Oh, it wasn't Isle of Dr. Brain, it was Isle of Dr. Quandary. Castle of Dr. Brain.
See, I didn't play them at school, but I remember very often playing the like Pajama Sam and Freddy Fish, those kind of games.
Rick, you've played Castle of the Winds, right?
Yes.
Did you just get a floppy disk that appeared in the mail one day? Just-
My dad got it from somewhere, but it was on a CD that was filled with a bunch of cheap demo software on it. Or a floppy disk. I can't remember which one it was. It was one of those.
Yeah. It's one of those games that just kind of appeared for people. There was another game that I really liked around that time called Solar Winds. I don't know if you played that one.
I do not recall that one.
Okay. That one was kind of a Star Trek-y space shooter sort of thing. Went around to different planets, talked to people, got almost RPG-like upgrades for your ship and stuff.
Those games just
Almost
missed, didn't they?
RPG like.
Yeah, I hesitate to call anything an RPG when it doesn't have like a leveling EXP system to it.
No.
It's like, is this really an RPG or is this just kind of a action game
It's
that
RPG.
has power ups?
It's an arpeggio.
Arpeggio.
Okay, calculate. Got 200 coming through. Residual fuel. 60.
There.
Hmm,
There.
wait a minute. 240.
Wait, dang minute there, boy.
Okay, that's it. Just got a thingies and thing stuff with the thing sauce, and then I just need the fuel gens. No problem. It's gonna be really good to get out to nuclear. A terrible thought, I know, but well, you know.
So we're gonna have a crap ton of energy? How's that a terrible thought?
Well, I mean, what about this poor world, Miller?
What about it?
What's it ever done for us?
What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Can't do anything by hand with bauxite.
God, imagine like hard mode for this game where you've got like environmental limitations.
Like how much poison it will take before it just gives out on you?
Yeah, or something like that, you know. I mean, just some sort of like realistic like environmental oversight where you need to like not, you know, murder everything.
I prefer moitering.
Miller,
There's
how
a-
dare.
There's a pollution level that goes up the more coal you
God.
use.
Yeah, when you burn fuel or coal for anything, pollution goes up.
Okay, those are all pumping. Good. That is 7.7, that's maxed. Alright.
If I'm about to place down a foundation, how do I switch it to be like a glass one?
You can't do that. You have to go into the menu to select this glass foundation specifically.
Oh, I see. It's a different thing.
Yeah. I think the glass foundation only comes in 1 meter.
I see. Also, because it takes steel instead of regular iron plate.
40 per minute. 60. Alright, hold on. 2. Fuck, hang on. It's putting out 40 per minute of heavy res. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, 200 minutes of heavy res.
Grab some plastic.
Hmm.
Uh,
Divided by 60. Right, one of
Nice.
these needs to be underclocked. Um. mm, 180. One needs to be.
oh, we're almost ready to launch Lake Oil.
Yes. Do you need me over there? Looks-
Don't need you over there, but I guess it'd be nice.
Okay. give me 1 second. I will be right with you.
We still need to build a couple more generators, but we have all the parts for them now.
Okay. Let me just park this and standby. Okay, heading over. I'm excited.
Ashley V says the school computers in high school we had really rudimentary protections on them that locked out the pre-installed games from being played. Unfortunately, the students knew more about the computers than the teachers, and I figured out how to bypass the system lock and taught everyone else how to do it. So a lot of people in the computer lab spent most of their days playing Sonic 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how it
Nice.
works. The
Same thing
computer
happened to me
lab
in high
I had
school.
in the high school didn't even bother with that sort of stuff, and we just played Flash games all day.
You know, I don't remember seeing any kind of copy protection until about the early 90s. So when I was a kid, it just wasn't a thing as far as I know.
Well, you didn't see copy protection. There was copy
Well,
protection in the
was there?
80s. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my webmastering classes in high school, we all just played Halo 2 multiplayer. You'd have one guy kill another, and then he'd like throw a pen or something from across the room. You'd anchor.
Wait. The hell? Who changed my hyper tubes? Oh. It was Ray,
He's like,
wasn't
stop
it?
hiding in the corner and sniping. Come on,
I've not
find
done
me.
a thing with the hypertubes.
I did the
believe
thing
you're
with the
right.
hypertubes.
Oh, okay, it was Ray. I'm still gonna blame Ray.
It
Rick
was
is
Ray!
Rick is often a hypertube.
When he's a ferret, yeah. A ferret, I guess.
I think Stoat counts too.
Maybe.
Very tube-like. Anything that could get, anything that could stick out of both ends of a paper towel roll.
You ever seen that video of the guy with the little least weasel that's like the size of like his finger, and it's like he keeps it on his desk and it like jumps out and attacks his finger while he's trying to click on the mouse, and then like
Yes.
goes into hiding, and then comes out a second later and tries again. It's amazing.
I have
I wanna
not seen
test
that.
it.
That sounds absolutely precious.
Oh my god. Let's see this beautiful complex. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that is sexy.
Okay, we got
Amazing.
the Alcad clacing again, the aluminum ingots and the copper ingots to make the casings. We've got the sloppy alumina, which takes the
Check.
bauxite and water to
Which
make.
is what we just got, was the sloppy alumina.
Okay.
Somebody clicked on sloppy alumina and just said we unlocked it.
Okay, that's yeah. I have
All
to be
right, Rick.
quick with getting to the
It-
man.
I'm here. at
It's the right
complex.
one. We need that.
Yep.
There's a couple of alternate recipes you need with aluminum refinery, or else it's going to be very complicated to set up the first time.
Might be too close is the issue. Well, that works.
And this place is looking good. Oh, did you guys use everything? Damn.
Right at the last generators now.
Oh, that must be GC's thing over there. Okay.
Yeah. I'll let the rest of these. That you know which line they're on.
Okay.
Just entombing all of the machines now behind walls. Maybe later on I'll figure out a way to like actually make it look good. But right now it's kind of form-fitting.
Mhm.
Also, wait, you can't build walls at an angle? Nikes.
You can build walls at an angle. Pretty sure you could. They just have to be aligned with the foundation. So if you just build the foundation at an angle, you can get the walls at an angle.
Well, sorry, I mean, I have these inverted up corners making diagonal lines, or diagonal walls. They have a diagonal edge with the foundations, and I want to build along that diagonal, but it doesn't seem I can. So I might have to abandon having something like that at all.
Okay, so we can build 5 there. Looks like we can't get all this on one floor then.
Damn, I love me some soup mode. Yes, I do.
Are we being raided?
Are we?
Oh
Good God,
yeah.
we are. Saving is rating with a party of 54.
That is a lot.
That is a lot.
Hello,
Hello.
Savin. With your booty quaking emote.
How's it going? Very nice to see y'all. Please sit back and enjoy our little game of Satisfactory.
Welcome. This blushy stoat you see on screen is Rick. And we're playing Satisfactory. We're building factories and stuff.
This is nuts.
This game is legit crazy.
Yes, yes it is.
It doesn't look like it, but trust me.
Building all of this by hand.
Yeah. Oh. And there is also Rick as a robot.
Yes, you have Robot Rick.
Similar, we got the aluminum casing, the aluminum scrap, and the radio control unit ones.
Grab, I guess. Gonna make sure we have all our options when we go to start setting up aluminum production.
Do not remove canisters from line. Thank you for the signage. It's good, good signage.
Will not work.
Yes, it's a Rixit brand robot. It's Fix-It, but Rick.
Ha 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 ha. You are not delivering your contractually required laugh. Comply or you will be fired. There we go.
I was thinking of Egon's fake laugh from Ghostbusters. He was like, ha, ha, ha. You're rustling. Are there spiders out there?
If we have some tickets, can we get like gate walls or whatever they are?
Oh, that'd be nice.
I think we have 2 tickets, but I'm not sure that's enough for those.
I saw Frederick said we had 5 earlier, but I don't know if he spent them on anything.
Someone took some.
We spent some of the ones that we had on the coated concrete foundation.
Got it. Alright, I'll just leave gaps in the wall for now. Fill them in later.
Okay.
Multiplayer sesh? Yes, so all 5 of us that you see on the call in the top left are in the game, so that's Frederick, Jonas, I, Miller Dark, Ray, and Rick.
Yo.
Ew.
Game Cobra also sometimes joins us, but he is busy tonight, so his character is just sitting in a corner drinking coffee. Probably
Which is
decaf.
usually Jonas's thing.
Yeah. I ran on my good brands, so I went to like the drugstore and got like crap coffee, and
Oh no.
it's making me angry.
Why would you go and do something like that?
I didn't give a shit. Basically, like I was having a bad morning.
You
dealing
decided to turn it into a bad week by
Well,
only
like-
ever having bad coffee near you.
Like I had to go out and do an errand early morning before I had a chance to do my usual cop, and I was just like, I'm just getting whatever. So I just I was beyond carrying. I just needed wakefulness, so I just went and got I got Starbucks at the market, and then bought the first shitty brand I could find. I did not care. But I'll probably order actual good coffee later this week. I don't know why you need to know all that, but whatever.
I need to, Jonas, do you know if there's anybody who makes
No.
macadamia flavored coffee?
Macadamia flavored. I know that there are flavored syrups you can get that are macadamia flavored. So if you really wanted to, you could just get something that was, like a coffee with a fairly generic profile and just dump that stuff in it if you wanted to do that. That said, there probably is. Hold on, of course I have to Google that now.
No, don't Google on my behalf.
No, yeah. Okay, yeah, okay. So I've never heard of the Hawaii Coffee Company, but apparently they make macadamia nut coffee. So,
Okay.
yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
I guess I could. Yeah, I guess I could give that a try.
I like
maybe.
macadamia
Oh,
better than hazelnut.
Yeah. Oh, you don't like hazelnut? Oh, fair enough.
Hazelnut's okay. It just tastes, like plain filler to me.
That's fair. These days, I generally don't get flavored coffee. I'll get they're particular brands I like, and then if I want flavor, I'll just add syrup into it. Usually, my favorite syrup is cinnamon dolce, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think
Cinnamon
I
dolce,
have,
I'm
I guess cinnamon. No, it's not cinnamon. It's caramel.
caramel? Yeah, that's another good one for me. And usually a little bit, just a little bit of cream. Don't need a lot. And usually like double sweetener. Oh my god. I'm just running around this complex, just ogling everything. It's so good.
Building some walls right here.
Oh yeah, I'm making an observation tower up there at the top
Okay.
of the thingy. It's just temporary. Just want to have a cool vantage point for whenever it comes online.
Still gonna probably do some bug fixing. Comes up.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Sure, we
And
missed some
I'll-
connection somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, and I can help with that if necessary. But just want to have a little bird's eye view.
Saban says, I just got back to Cold Power myself. Took about a day. I approve of the Petro Ops and good organization I'm seeing. Yeah, there's a lot of pre-planning that went into the stuff they are
Yes.
building.
There was so much pre-planning for this, and it took 3 days to put it together.
Yeah, Miller
Like 6
provided me.
hours.
There was a
Miller
lot of real world graph making on pen and paper.
Yes.
Say that again. Nah, like Miller provided me with a theory for that, like a loop that like kept canisters moving infinitely, and provided like it was like minimum waste oil setup, and then I modified that to do fuel, because I figured if we can channel a lot of fuel to the generators, then we could add a bunch of like 5 to 8 gigawatts back to the grid, which is great. I mean that's going to do us until we do nuclear. So I had to do a lot of just fiddling to make sure that all of the numbers were right, because everything was like fractional and like underclocked. And then Rick actually Rick and Frederick took that and just mapped the whole thing out and put it together and figured out like a routing system. And it's crazy. It is absolutely nuts. And
They put one of these sloops on top of this rock right here. Okay, I'll take that.
Your contract legally compels you to harvest this artifact.
Saban says I left around 1.4, came back for 1.6. Yeah, that's what we did as well. We were just like 1.5 came out, and we're just like, it's not enough really in this update to like start a new playthrough. And then 1.6, and we're just like,
It's been a year.
we got the itch.
We'll do it.
Yeah, so we'll do all of this, and then we'll wait until 1.8.
I think like that's gonna be probably 1.0.
Yeah. They said there might be a 1.7, but they're now aiming for 1.0.
This game that we will have spent multiple weeks on twice is finally coming out.
I'm excited.
Look, man, development's changing. You could change with it or get left behind.
Oh, thanks, Rick.
There we can.
Whatever you like. Let me get off of this.
Last frame count. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Kind of wish you could zoop walls in a 2D shape instead of just in a line.
Place.
You can do whatever you like. I just wanted to make sure it was aligned to the grid geometry.
Oh,
What? Oh yeah. Zip is good.
Alternate turbo blend fuel. Combine
Nice.
fuel, heavy oil residue, sulfur, and petroleum coke to get
Wow.
turbo fuel.
Is this like an ultra like high yield formula?
Turbo fuel is significantly more efficient, but
Okay.
it does require a lot more setup to create.
not much. Not as much as that recipe has.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went with the alumina casings there. I know
Gotcha.
we're going to need a bunch of those.
That recipe is a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, this is pretty good up here. Put a little you gonna put some walls in, Rick, or anything like that? Actually, we'll do some safety rails.
Yeah, we can put some safety rail.
Safety is number one.
There you go. God, look at that. Look at that. It's so good.
Look at that dog.
Look at that dog. Look at that dog. I mean, let me hang on. Let me get like the the panorama shot. Hang on, let me see if I can just. How do I. Right, P. That's right. How do I. Where do they put the photos?
I mean,
Is it
do you not just
screenshots?
print screen or
No. The
oh,
in-game
photo mode?
option.
I see. Yeah.
I don't know where the hell it's. Never mind, found it. Yeah, look at that. Crazy. Let me upload these so people can see it from my point of view.
We're gonna need to turn on the batteries that we have. What's
Yeah,
our,
it's not
what's our
gonna.
current power?
Hold on. Let me check this. Let me get down there and check it in a second. Okay. Current power is. Okay, Rick's got it. Okay. Is it already on the main? It's not. Okay, no, it's not on the main grid. Okay. I would recommend using the jumpstart function, or at least, or at least having it attached to the grid and doing it in tandem so that we have the extra overhead. But your call. I disconnected, but I can go and reconnect it now if you want.
We should have enough.
I think so. I hope so.
Our average consumption is hovering around 3,000, and our production is hovering just over 5,000. So we have
Right.
2,000 to work with. That should be fine.
Okay.
We might want to turn on the batteries just in case.
Yeah, I just did.
Okay.
They're cooking.
Okay.
Figure it can't hurt.
Is there a way to like replace a wall with something instead of having to destroy it and build it back?
I don't think so.
I don't remember that being a thing. Grr.
Ron, it's not quite online yet. We're figuring out last minute stuff before we juice up. This is going to be a complicated startup process because the loop has to become self-sustaining before we can really thing this stuff. But if I did all my calculations correct, it should be about 8 gigs on the grid. I'm up here in my little bird's nest, looking down on the world. Oh, Dabber595 says, with build gun, hold control, and you can replace.
Ah, thank you.
There we go.
That'll do it.
Raccoon City. You know what? That works for me.
We may need to take a vote on that.
Nope.
Too late. I put a sign down. That means it's canon.
Jonas has taken an executive decision on this one. It's amazing how infinitely less depressing the building looks now that it has windows.
It's almost homey.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far, but it's definitely less secret government facility looking.
You know, I'm weird. I don't really mind the brutalist look. Like, I appreciate having walls and such on it, but I don't know. I feel like something like this, you know, it's you shouldn't hide the form, you know, you shouldn't hide the
Yeah, I'll always profess my love for the Art Deco, but it's just not really a style you can do in this game.
yeah. Maybe a lot of your bonus content. Large movements.
I mean, I'd love it if they did. Don't know if Art Deco really fits with Satisfactory's vibe, though. I mean, maybe it does. Wildly materialistic, callous towards nature.
Yeah, that's what the frames are for. Make it look like it actually things actually have structure, without needing to make them solid.
Actually, I'm gonna make myself useful. There is one thing I do want to do. Let's add a few more stairways to the catwalk for the different sections.
Oh, are we ready to switch this on?
Yeah, I guess.
So,
Oh.
did you guys?
What broke?
That wasn't me.
I didn't do anything yet.
Hold on, let me look at the main grid. I didn't touch anything. Main grid's still active, but we lost a bunch of consumption. What happened?
I don't know.
Don't know.
All right, well, hold on, let me go through it. Oil extractors are online. Looks like everything else is offline.
How does we just hit on?
I mean, do we have a master switch? Oh yeah, it's right there. All right, Rick, go for it.
You've disconnected me from the main grid, I believe.
What?
Up in North Oil. I am disconnected from the main grid now.
I didn't do that.
Hold on. Maybe I did that.
Okay, extractors are online. Let me, okay, come on, fingers crossed. Let me keep an eye on
That's what I
the
did.
water pipes are... Hang on.
Dude, the water's online.
Yeah, water is online. I'm looking at the
Where's
pipe
the other
volume.
switch? I thought there was a second switch.
Is there a second switch?
This isn't oil, this is just water.
All right.
Here, Where's that?
Alright,
It's water.
Water. Okay, water is definitely cycling up. Yeah, I can see it expanding. I'm watching the pipes. Let me get down there. Alright, packagers. Okay, the canisters are ready to go. Flow capacity is looking good. Yeah. All right, we just need power to the packagers first.
We have passed midnight, by the way.
Yeah.
But our big conclusion.
Hang on, brown isn't filling up. Let me find out what's going on there.
Only the water pump seems to be on. The oil pump.
Right. Okay. So we need more connections.
Yeah. Trying to figure out where to best attach it. Just get right here. You connect everything. Having a redundant cable should be fine.
Okay. Can't hurt. Okay. Let me take a look over there. Refineries are online.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
take a moment until we get the fuel in them.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just kind of calling it out as I see it. Let's see how we're doing here. Packages are active. First canisters are going in.
Not receiving heavy oil residue yet. Okay.
Shit. Yeah, pipeline mark 2. Purple pipeline is empty.
Is not receiving crude oil. Why is this not receiving crude oil? That
Hold on,
not
let me get over there.
connected. The extractor turned on. Let me see.
Looks like it. Wait, hold on.
It's on standby. Now it's on.
Shit. Okay. Okay. Crude is flowing. I'm tracing. There's some black pipe. Let's see what starts happening over here. Refineries are active.
Heavy oil residue is being created.
All right, beautiful. We got it on the other side. Black refineries are online. Wait, no, they still need polyres.
Yep. Polymer resin is coming down the line, making sure it's not
Right.
getting stopped up.
Beautiful. Yep, I see.
That's me.
Wait. Oh, that was you? Okay.
Hold on, the polymer resin not reconnected here.
Oh,
Need to put another belt on. Let's see.
okay.
My belts is at.
Yes, White Wolf.
Where my belt is at.
Rick does indeed do Twitch streams. Whenever someone comes in and is like, Rick does Twitch streams? I always imagine, like, those episodes of Doctor Who where the companion goes in there for the first time. It's like, it's bigger on the inside?
Also true of Rick.
Okay, mister.
All right, polyrez is looking good. take a look.
Fox, I think you know what to do.
Polyres is propagating.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's check out the other end. Rubber is also propagating.
Still waiting on the
Tracking that.
fuel.
Okay.
Go checking on the fuel now.
Radio. Rubber is... Where's rubber going? Ah, rubber's going back to the thing which goes to the industrial. Perfect.
They're all idle, as it's still waiting on heavy oil residue. Why is that
Right.
not moving?
Where is heavy res?
Oil residue, purple line.
Oh, okay.
Looking at it. Okay, it is filling up. It's just going slow.
30% efficiency. That... I don't know why that is. Are they all going to 32%? Let's see. That one's idle. Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Yeah, it's just taking a bit for the heavy oil residue to all the time.
Okay. So... Okay.
I don't think that's what he meant, Boxer.
Alright, heavy res is... There it goes. There it goes.
We might need more
It's getting there.
we might need more canisters in the
Shit. Where are those?
Yeah, you're gonna want a few thousand to be saturating the system.
Well, we put 2,000 into it.
Steel beams, and I need silica. And iron plates.
Take the rest of this.
I can throw a few hundred in. I've got some plastic on me.
Rubber. Here's some canisters. See, that is
Is there only
Almost
one
1,000.
line that
There's
needs
two
the canisters
lines.
in?
2 lines.
Ah!
They should have been balanced.
Like about a third of the gens are online.
I
That's a
turned
start.
I turned around after crafting them and walked face first into a hypertube.
Nice.
So now I am SOL for the next like 2
Let
minutes.
me double check.
Well, you try to turn around. Just press W and turn your camera around and hold W.
Oh,
Getting there.
that's amazing. I had no idea you could
Yeah.
control this.
Yeah.
Yeah, about a third of the
Okay,
fuel
that's
gens
why.
are online. What's up? intermittent idle signals on the orange refineries. Oh, those are packages. Never mind.
Okay. One.
My God, no! You got to see this. Have you been out to this place?
5.
Canisters filled with water get turned into tang and then get empty.
Turned into tang.
Delicious tang.
The official drink of Evangelion.
Black. I saw something today that reminded me I still have not seen 3.0 plus 1.0.
Me neither. I haven't seen any of the new ones.
Oh, I haven't seen any of the new ones?
I have not. I know there's like a different ending or something.
It gets kind of... It's a lot more batshit than the original Evangelion, if you could believe it.
Yeah, I believe it. Hideaki Anno is a crazed, demented mind.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be right back. I'm not physically leaving. I'm just hopping offside for 1 second.
Okay, well it is 12:12.
Yet. Do you guys want to keep at it, or
I can make an executive decision that we can keep going until we make sure that this is running properly.
Okay.
But no longer than 12:30.
Okay.
When you
I
ask
was-
mom for 5 more minutes and she says fine.
All right. Well, I'm setting a timer.
I was looking ahead to bauxite, and it looks like there's some in the red forest above here to the west. So I don't know if you want to convert that into alumina here, like on the part of the lake that isn't touched yet.
Are you like standing on it or
Not
something?
even getting any
Oh.
kill yet.
No, you. If you scan and then look at the map, it'll show once it pulses.
Yeah. Do you think you can make a map marker where the... I see there's one that says bauxite pure that's like due south of me and kind of southwest of you.
Yeah, there's like I think a total of like 5 nodes up there. One of them's pure, several are normal, one's impure.
Yeah, we could probably do something where we make the aluminum ingots up there, and then bring them to the bus and do stuff with them. Then train them over or whatever. I want to redo these quartz miners that we have, kind of behind where our main iron miners are, because right now all they're doing is they're making quartz crystals. They're not making silica, and they're just sinking a lot of stuff. So I'd like to split those up into one making crystals, one making silica, and then we can, if we need to use those for like oscillators or something, because I know that's another thing we haven't done yet.
Yeah, well, the thing about making the alumina is that to make it, you need to combine bauxite with water. Like, you can't make the ingots up there. There's water up there. I'm dumb. Never mind.
Like, yeah, that's not the hard part. The hard part is getting the quartz for the process.
What quartz?
Or you need, like, for the bauxite, don't you need, like, silica and coal and water? And bauxite in order to eventually make aluminum ingots? Because it's like a several-step process. You need to take the bauxite, and from that make the alumina solution, and from the alumina solution you do something to it to turn it into the scrap, and then the scrap you turn into the ingots.
Yes, right. It's you use either coal or coke with the alumina solution to turn it into the scrap,
I see. You guys should just cook it real hot.
and then yeah, the scrap we can just turn directly into ingots now. We don't need silica for it because of that alternate recipe.
Ah, that makes it way better. So we just need water and coal and bauxite for the full
Yes,
process.
and one of the byproducts to converting alumina solution to scrap is creating water. So there's even a bit of recycledness going on there.
Nice.
Okay, but it's not going to be like excess water. So I don't think there's a way to deal with excess water.
Well, what would be the problem with excess water?
It would get clogged up. If it has water as an output, and then we have nothing to put that water into that has, an infinite capacity or something.
Yeah, output from factories
Oh, well-
and things need to flow through, or else it'll stop up.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm
Right.
saying. Like we have the water that gets produced from making the scrap get flowing back in to make the alumina solution.
Okay, yeah, I
For
think
the
I remember
bauxite.
this. Right, so it's like we need, say, 300 cubic meters of water a minute. We actually only need to pipe in 180, and the other 120 comes from...
The process itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only tricky part, it
Yeah.
seems, would be the given that there's water up there, would be getting the coal or coke.
Sure, we can find something. Coal is not that hard to find usually. And petroleum coke is just coal and sulfur, right?
There's I believe
It's the residue.
there's coal and sulfur right by lake oil if you need it.
Nope, I found some coke up there,
Oh,
or
okay.
coal up there. So yeah, we can just have a aluminum factory up there.
Nice.
Now, would we have conveyor belts or a
Train.
train bringing it
Train
back?
would be bringing the ingots back.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to standardize how the train works so that we can have... Because now that we have the signals, we can have all of the trains connected together, but they won't crash or anything because they'll have proper signals and they can see ahead and all this kind of stuff. So hopefully it should be that we can just have one big train network. Which means we can have multiple things putting aluminum on, or multiple things putting plastic and rubber on, but then they're all coming to the bus.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
That's the dream anyway. I don't even know if it'd be necessary, but
Do
it'd
it.
be cool.
The rule of cool applies.
Okay, these are all
Absolutely.
here.
Heading back, I'll be right there.
Look at that 10,000 megawatt capacity.
Yeah.
Isn't it beautiful?
Wait, hold on.
Is it running at full capacity? Should.
Well, it's fluctuating a bit because we have a bunch of geysers and stuff, but
Oh right.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Let's see here.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
so even if we had everything running at 100%, we wouldn't break the breaker.
Nice.
what if like you had everything running at 100% and I blew up all your generators?
No!
Well, then I
What'd you do
guess
about that?
they'd be blown up.
Don't do that. That's not nice. That's mean.
Are all of these fuel generators supposed to be empty?
You mean it's theoretically supposed to run at 100% efficiency, but
It's
We're
gonna
gonna
take
have
a
to-
little bit to get up there.
yeah, and we might need to work out. There may be bugs to work out.
But so long as it's currently producing enough power to sustain itself, it should eventually get there.
Yeah. How do I make the really big display
Awesome.
sign?
Taller than fit down here.
Like a billboard. Need a billboard.
Well, it's this pipe that's weird.
What pipe?
Weird
This one that I'm standing on. I don't get why it's empty. It looks like there might be a tiny smidge of water in it.
Well, you can flush the pipe.
That didn't do anything.
Okay. I don't think there should be any water in that pipe.
It looks like about 50% of the gen. No, yeah, about 50 or 60% of the gens are running. So we're doing good.
Yeah, there's just nothing in this, and I don't know why it's not flowing because both of the other pipes in the T junction are full of fuel, and this one is just has nothing at all in it.
Does it need head lift?
It's
Could he
all
had, it could also just not be connected fully, like
it's
it's
all
some
level.
weird.
And it might need to just replace the pipes.
Yeah, I'll try. Oh, yeah, that was not connected.
No.
Okay.
So we will see if this works. Why
Can't
did you
put
not-
an underground awesomes right here. 2
5 crystal oscillators.
myself some. Oh.
Well, that didn't fix it either.
Well, keep at
Oh,
it.
it's-
You'll
The pipes are not saturated with fuel yet.
right.
Well, no, it's a pipe coming off of a T junction, and both of the other pipes of the 3 here are completely full of fuel, and it's just not flowing into this one.
Oh, you're right. Excuse me.
Weird.
By the way, there's a catwalk underneath if you need to do maintenance.
It's this orange
below.
one here.
I need to make it a little deeper so I can fit an awesome sink down here so that the inflow from the oil site does not completely gum up.
Right. Yeah. Good call.
Giving myself a little room.
Okay, what do I need for a billboard?
Oh, I was gonna make a billboard.
Oscillator.
Yeah, I was gonna. I
Wait,
was gonna
for
do it.
where?
Oh, do you? Oh, you're doing. I was gonna do one at Lake Oil. Do you want to make another?
I'm making one for North Oil.
Okay, I'll pick up some for you. Hang on. Trying to find the
Oh,
crystal.
No, I'm
oscillator.
good.
Oh yeah, these aren't getting it either. Yeah, this whole
Okay.
row isn't getting them either.
I got it, Jonas.
Alrighty then.
Oh. Wait.
Eh?
Did
What?
Did you guys make an
not
oopsie
there.
whoopsie?
okay.
Well-
When you're
well, fuck.
putting the cross the junction cross. You can't just slap that on the middle of a pipe, right?
Yes, you can.
You can.
Should be able to.
Okay.
Although it's best to align it to whatever your use control to align it to whatever existing grid you've got.
I mean,
If it's
I mean, like, you can't do that with a.
Don't have any cable.
Okay, yeah, I don't think that you can do that because I've replaced it and now it's working. Like how it was like there was a really long pipe, like you would have a conveyor belt, and then it was like someone just put like on top of a existing conveyor belt a splitter just right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That's how it
And
should work.
It was not working. So I put one on either side of it, and now it is.
Thing's way too tall. Oh well, nobody's gonna look there anyway.
So now everything's miscolored, but working.
I don't think we need pumps. That
Okay.
doesn't go high enough to use pumps.
Wait, did we lose somebody?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
Oh wait, Miller disconnected.
Oh,
Yeah, it's 12:30 anyway.
okay. We calling it?
Yes, it's time.
All right. All right. Disconnecting. We'll figure it out tomorrow night. We're doing great though. We it looks like we're running at about 60% efficiency, which is great for a big array like that. And I'm real proud of everyone's work. I think it's I feel good about it. I think we accomplished a lot.
Yeah, so thanks for coming out, everybody.
Yeah,
Okay.
always a pleasure. We'll see you next time.
Save. Confirm. Exit. Confirm. Yep. Thanks everybody for stopping by. We will see you next time.
All right. Good day, everybody.